So for the first time in our history, we have, communists and, capitalists, etc. in our government. I think even, Yusek Badoy was like, lobbying for one of them to be part of our government. Pero, this very generous offer to the CPP, NPA, and DF group actually failed, and we're back to the same game of actually continuing with their game of protracted war. So, is there still sense to continue peace talks, or should we just abandon this idea and then just go for total military victory over them?
It depends on the framework that we will be following. When I entered the peace process, first thing I noticed is that when you look at the agenda for discussion on the peace talks, it is tantamount to establishing a coalition government with the communists. And we know for a fact that coalition governance is just about 1 or 2 steps away from total control. Now, we know that in the scheme of things when you're dealing with the communists, and yet I saw this framework. The first thing I did was when they agreed on a third-party facilitators, I went to Norway. Fortunately, the one in government there and the Prime Minister is a drinking partner of mine during the old days. So I told him, can you tell your representative to the peace talks that this is coalition governance. We will never agree to a coalition governance wherein a particular party in the coalition arrived there by threatening the nation. You go there if you are elected. Sabi ko, they have to go through the process. What will our people think? What will our people think that engaging in violence, threatening government and the people is the right way because you become a member of the coalition of government without passing through an election? That cannot be. So I removed that. And the peace talks failed. Nagsara yung peace talks, nagalit yung kalaban. But that is just an example. No? There is something very fundamental that I like to keep insisting. When you do a peace talks, ang nagiging problema natin kasi, during the peace talks, ang galing sa propaganda ng komunista. Itong gobyerno natin pagkahina-hinang magpaliwanag. The peace talks actually is an opportunity for the two sides to explain their side. Dapat nananalo yung gobyerno, hindi nananalo yung komunista. I keep insisting, there is only one sentence that I want to remove from the strategy of the communists. And I can cite you many examples that it became very beneficial to the society when you give up the sentence. And what is the sentence? I-rephrase ko na lang, baka humaba. The gist of it is that fundamental to the strategy of the communists is their belief that they can only achieve state power by using arms, by engaging in armed struggle. Thus, right after the dictatorship in Spain, that you will probably study this, the labor movements of Spain talk to the communists because the communists is the strongest opposition to the dictatorship in Spain. But because of the pressure of their mass movements, the communists were convinced to lay down their weapons and participate democratically.